He also was read into and had the chief scientist show him the location, which...
This is another thing. There's these illustrations in this thing, and you see that thing in the background? I think those are porta potties. I'm not sure, but I think they're porta potties. And according to these illustrations, there's these secret underground bases that are big enough for like hundreds of people to work in. And apparently they're so secret that the government just lets everybody park their car right outside the secret base. And listen, if you got to take a dump, there's porta potties. There's porta potties outside the secret underground bases. So if you got to, listen, sometimes maybe you just got to, you driving to work, you got to take a big dump. And maybe they don't have bathrooms in the underground secret alien bases where they're working on the alien spacecraft. They have such technology that they can back engineer alien spacecraft, but they can't figure out how to put a bathroom in that bitch underground. Instead, they got porta potties all along the back row. And this base is ultra top secret. It is housing the most secret things on planet Earth. The greatest secrets of the United States shadow cabal, you know, black budget government, you know, the deep state. It's the most secret base of the deep state. But we're going to put a row of like all these porta potties out there, and we're just going to let everybody park their cars right outside where you go into the secret base. And listen, they would not do that. There's Russian satellites that would pick this up in a minute. In a minute! There's Chinese satellites that would pick this up in a minute. You don't put an underground base somewhere and then just let hundreds of people come to work and park right outside in a row and then put porta potties in case people have to take a shit. Oh my God, this is so stupid. What am I doing here?
We now have a underground military base
serious stuff
that is in the Dugway sector, so-called Avery sector, A-V-E-R-Y.
All right, and that's another thing. He said it's in the Dugway Proving Grounds, so we can look on satellite maps. And as ridiculous as it sounds, I went looking for big rows of cars and porta potties out by the Dugway Proving Grounds, and I couldn't find anything. I couldn't find shit. So is this fake? Well, this is another anonymous source. And if you look at the logic and the ridiculousness of this whole thing, I think you might agree that this is probably a tall tale. And by the way, there's more illustrations with the porta potties and the cars, I think.
Has huge capacity for parking. You go in, and there's a vast underground complex in that location. That location has been handed off to investigators.
And here's the thing. If there's huge capacity for parking, why is everybody parking their car on the surface then? This makes no sense. This is a total contradiction.
With the U.S. government. Next. This gives an illustration of the size of this. You could put easily on the platform that goes down the Air Force One. It's a very large elevator, goes down.
I told you. Okay, so this location has been handed off, according to Greer, with investigators with the U.S. government. Which investigators? Which department is investigating this? Can we have their names? Oh, of course not. But what we can get is, see, there's the entrance to the underground base. Looks like a little shed there next to the porta shitters. I'm sorry, I can't get over the porta potties. Why would you just have a parking lot outside a deep underground military base where everybody can park and shit? Like, this doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I'm sorry. There are underground bases, but they don't look like this on the surface. The point of an underground base is two things. Usually bunkers to prevent like a nuclear, you know, anything nuclear from reaching them, or to provide secrecy to work on things, I would think. It kind of blows the secrecy thing out when you got, you know, 25 porta potties and 100 or 150 cars out there. And this makes no sense. Why would people not? You got enough space under there for the Air Force One and helicopters and a train, but you don't got enough space for people to park?
Nice. And
you don't got bathrooms? Why don't they got bathrooms in a deep underground base? You're like, listen, This is so stupid and so ridiculous, right? Like, imagine the scientists that work there. Like, listen, I would like to keep trying to back engineer this alien spacecraft, but I really got to take a shit, so I got to go up top. I got to go topside and use the porta potty. I got to go topside and take a shit before I can continue to back engineer this alien spacecraft. This is so stupid. And as stupid as this is, imagine the idiots that helped hype this, that helped this man take money from people for this level of stupidity, this level of illogical, childish, nonsensical stories that don't make sense.